Today's episode is about what you can do as a parent to get your teen to open up and talk to you about what's going on in their life. It can be very frustrating for us parents when our teens keep their worries to themselves, especially if they tend to be good at hiding things. When we don't get any alarms, we get really afraid that if they are in trouble, they won't tell us or they won't ask for help, which of course makes things worse. Let's first understand the root cause of this behavior, this secrecy, let's call it. Um, some call it lying, even. It's keeping things hidden from you. Why would our teen do that? Lying or not talking is actually a defensive mechanism. It's a defense against fear of rejection, fear of punishment. It's also a defense against shame. You might want to listen to one of my previous episodes around bonding with your teen, where I explain defensive mechanisms in more detail. Now, teens who keep things secret tend to be low on self-compassion because they don't accept that making mistakes is part of life, that it's normal. They feel ashamed of making mistakes, and this shame inside them is intense. It's painful to us adults. Some of these mistakes might not be that big. We tend to dismiss them as no big deal, and we use this language when we're talking to our kids. We say it's no big deal, but when we actually do that, we're not acknowledging our teens, because to them it is a big deal. Making a mistake is a big deal, and they feel a lot of shame and guilt and self-loathing about it. And all this comes from a lack of self-compassion, a lack of self-worth. And when their intense emotions become entangled with the thoughts in their mind, um, it's like the mind is good at making up stories and escalating things. So their shame and their fear can get quite strong, and it can take over. Some teens deal with the fear and the intense emotions by projecting them back at you. They rebel and blame you for what's going on inside them. But others turn inwards and withdraw. They might fall into what's called victim mentality, where they convince themselves that, the world is against them, that, everything is happening to them. They're a victim of circumstances, and they turn inwards. I want you to know that there is nothing wrong with your teen if they're any of the ways I described above. This defensiveness is a hardwiring inside us humans. We need it for survival. It's just like when you place a hand on a hot surface and it automatically bounces off. This is what defensiveness is. And with secrecy or lying, it can become a default reaction for your teen if not handled correctly. And then one lie leads to another lie, and it's a downward spiral. As parents, we need to understand all this. We need to know our child well, and we need to accept them as they are. We accept their nature, accept that they're here having this experience to learn. And we also need to choose love and compassion. I always use this metaphor. We have to be the lighthouse. It's a metaphor that author Maggie Dent uses, that you, as a parent, you are the lighthouse, and your teens are out there discovering the seas. They're way far out, they're having their own adventures, but you are the lighthouse. You need to keep your light shining. You need to always let them know that you're there for them when they want to come back, that they are always welcome. And I share it to inspire you, to just give you a bit of strength. And what I'll do next, I'm gonna give you 3 keys on what you can do to get your teen to open up and talk to you. So let's dive in. Key number 1, work on your awareness. Be present. Be present in your home when you're around your kids. Pay attention and be mindful of how they're acting, what they're saying, how does their energy feel like. You will notice if there's something off. You know your teen well, okay? You will notice the signs if there's something off, if there's something going on. Most likely it's going to be something very subtle in their behavior or something out of character in their actions or words. When you are present and aware, you will notice. If you are distracted and you're living there in your mind worrying about your to-do list and all the other stuff, you will miss the signs. Key number 2, deal with your emotions separately before you engage with your teen. If you know that if you're maybe guessing that they're hiding something from you, or you have a feeling, or you already know that they lied to you, you have to deal with your emotions separately, not in their presence. In their presence, you need to stay calm, centered, patient, respectful. You need to contain your big emotions. Now, your emotions are valid, they're completely valid, but you're the adult here. You're the adult in the relationship. You're the mature one. So you need to hold space for your teens. Always find a calm, respectful way to communicate with them. And again, no shaming, no blaming. You need to be very aware of what you're saying and how you're acting, as well as the tone of your voice. And if you're the type of person who needs to vent first, then vent somewhere safe, not with your teen, maybe with a trusted friend, or maybe a professional who's just able to hold space for you. And please don't vent with your partner unless they are a saint. The issue is that your partner is also parenting your teen, and they might also have their own attachments and triggers. So you have to be very careful with the person you go to when you need someone to hold space for you, if you're just venting. I also like to journal. Journaling is my way of venting, where whatever I want to say, I write it out on a piece of paper, and then I throw the paper away. It's just that it gives me a way to self-express myself safely without having consequences on others. And key number 3, focus on building strong connection with your teen. From the start, you need to work on that relationship between you and your teen. Spend special time together, practice active listening, talk with them, have those open talks, and really listen to what they have to say. Don't come with an agenda or you interrupt them or give them advice. Just listen to what they have to say and respond accordingly. And, show excitement, show interest in what they are doing. Also show them unconditional love. You show your affection in ways that are comfortable to your teen. Maybe some of them don't like hugs. Then you find other ways, maybe handwritten notes, maybe acts of service, like making them their favorite food. And unconditional love means that you give in a detached way. You're not expecting anything in return, or you're not giving because you want them to behave in a certain kind of way. It's unconditional. And you might also enjoy listening to my previous episode for more tips around creating strong bonds with your teen. I'll end here with saying that the parent-child relationship is the most sacred relationship that can exist on this planet, in my opinion. You know, the two of you, you are beautiful souls in this infinite universe who came together in this lifetime just to have this experience together. It is a miracle. Remember that. Thank you for listening. I'm Nadine, the Teen Soul Coach. Until next time.